Good morning, everyone. So we had April Fool's Day yesterday, right? The 1st of April. April Fools. I have a niece whose birthday is on April 1st. Well, that's not a fool. That definitely happened. And once again, I'm just flabbergasted on how people really go for all this. We had one here in Kentucky. It's still being shared because people think it's true. That they released some elks many years ago. I still have to see one here in our county. And though I live on top of a mountain, they were released on the other side of the county. So, I don't know. Elk, I guess, don't travel very much, or they never traveled in this direction in all them years. And I even went, you could go with the four-wheeler and go to this one area and go see elk. And I did 2 or 3 times. Never saw an elk. All the years that they've done that now to release them elk, I've never seen one. But there are so many elk here now in this county that they are releasing mountain lions. Yes, to take care of the elk population. Well, anyway, first I looked at that and I saw it today. I didn't see it yesterday. I'm looking at that. I'm going, what? Why would they do that? Yeah, I mean, you can hunt elk too. And we have a lot of hunters here. And as far as I know, and that could have changed because there's so many elk now, they have to draw as lows tickets to hunt, to see if you can. There's only so many that are allowed to be killed. So hunters go and you draw like out of a tombola. You have to pay, and then maybe you get a lucky number or not, right? Okay. So why would they bring mountain lions in? But anyway, so sure enough, right? Okay. Because it happened yesterday, today's today, there were already people at the majority of the people went for it. Whoa, why would they do that? Oh gosh, no, we don't need any mountain lions. We have mountain lions. Well, the fish and wildlife people would tell you, oh, there are no more mountain lions here, which is an absolute lie. They are here. But those, okay, never seen one either, actually, but definitely seen the tracks out there. Anyway, so which is good. They're being very elusive. That's what you want. I don't want them to come up here on my porch, right? Yes, okay. Why go hunt for something that wants to not be seen, right? Okay, just saying. Anyway, or look for something. I'd say 7 out of 10 people went for the joke, okay? And were just, never even went, what? Is that actually true? No? And go and check it out. I do this. If I say, oh, wow, what is that all about? And what do they want me to do here? I go and check it out first. Before I start doing what? Being a part of sharing stuff that's just humbug. Okay. Fool's Day. Okay, right? There was that. But people thought it was true. And about, as I said, 3 out of 10 would go in and say, April Fool's, guys. It's not, there's nothing else. It's just somebody made a joke out of it. Okay. So there is that. Then I saw another one, and that could also be a April Fool's, right? Yes? And I said, it was kind of a funny one. And even though, if it's just April Fool's, so what, right? Flip it. What did I say? Instead of getting mad at something and be all riled up, and now they're doing this to our children. Just flip it. Gosh, don't make it sound like you have no control over your life or even on how to just turn a situation around where you're making it. Okay, you want to be a fool out there? Well, guess what we're going to do. So they're supposedly, and I think it's, again, I'm thinking I didn't go even and check it out, because to me, this is like, what do I care? McDonald's supposedly has now a kiddie meal with an action figurine that looks like Satan, right? With the black and red color and the symbol and the goat head and the horns and the and wings. Oh, and I said, I've seen way worse looking action figures than that, you know. And that's what it is, just an action figure. Well, in a way, Satan's a biblical character, right? Okay. Well, they want to start out with that one? What? What's wrong with that? Take the fire. Don't fuel the fire. Take the fire out of the whole thing and look at it and go, yeah, okay, well, it's a goat with wings to start with. And to kind of depict Satan as a goat with wings, okay, I happen to like goats, okay? Why not have a snake? Okay, snakes are good too. They were okay, but still, right? Why not have a snake with wings and make it look like Satan or something? What kind of would go along with the biblical story that people how they wrote it down. All right. Well, anyway, and since there are poisonous snakes, it's kind of a good lesson to teach children. As look, if you come across a snake, right? If it bites you, it's gonna hurt. Right? Satan's kind of the same way. Watch out for Satan because he's going to bite you and that's going to hurt. Okay, all right? Just saying, right? But here's a goat. Goats are, come on now. Goats are such wonderful animals, right? All right, so they made an action figure out of Satan with wings and horns, a goat's head and big old horns, which our Billy Goat had. Anyway, right? In black and white. I'm looking and saying, okay, well, that wouldn't give me nightmares, even if I were a kid. But I know of some other things that are out there now as toys for children that definitely give me nightmares if I were a kid, right? But it's so advertised on a show or this or that, and the kids want it, and it's the next trend, and whatever. So anyway, right? And then while the kids are eating the Happy Meal with this, I said, okay, let's talk about Satan in the Bible, right? There you go, Bible story. So McDonald's, really, when it comes down to it, is what? Advertising the Bible. Yes? And I hope, if it's true, and it's not just an April Fool's thing, then I hope that McDonald's will bring out some other Bible characters as well. Yes? Who should be next? Probably Jesus. Yes, okay. I know. He could be like, have some kind of a cape, What would be gold and green, I think would be great colors for Jesus. And with a cape flowing up behind him, or a removable cape or something, right? And what? Have a heart in his hand or something, right? Yes? Yeah? Yeah, what do you fight with? You fight with your heart, right? Yes, okay then, right? And yeah. How cool is that? Just saying. So, even if, is it true? I don't know. I'm not even going to go and look it up. But again, just put the positive spin on it. One more. I seen. Maybe I'll finish up with that if I remember. Anyway, so number one thing, please don't make a fool out of yourself by believing things that were posted on Fool's Day. And again, now you should, if you went for it and oops, right, had something to say, no doubt, and oh my God, blah, 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 what do, right? Okay, then it's nobody else's fault but your own, and you need to just gotta get the proper info first before all right, spreading a bunch of nonsense. Let's go here. We're in the second book of Chronicles. The second book of Chronicles, and we are in 5. So the temple was finally finished. Then Solomon brought in the gifts dedicated to the Lord by his father, King David. They were stored in the temple treasuries. Solomon now summoned to Jerusalem all of the leaders of Israel, the heads of the tribes and clans, for the ceremony of transferring the ark from the tabernacle in the city of David. Oh, from the tabernacle in the city of David, also known as Zion, to its new home in the temple. This celebration took place in October at the annual Festival of Tabernacles. Oh, in October. As the leaders of Israel watched, the Levites lifted the ark and carried it out of the tabernacle along with all the other sacred vessels. King Solomon and the others sacrificed sheep and oxen before the ark in such numbers that no one tried to keep count. And I'm getting a hot flash. I've been hot flashing day and night. Woo! Father, is there ever going to be an end to this? Eventually. Maybe. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Then the priests carried, it's literally, I'm just, can you see? Oh, I think it's even showing. I'm literally breaking out into a sweat. It's like furnace is on, right? How does one just keep on like nothing happens? It's difficult, people. It's difficult. never underestimate hot flashes. Not the women with hot flashes. Don't underestimate hot flashes. Yes. Okay. All right. Keep reading. I know. Along with all the other sacrifices, King Solomon and the others sacrificed sheep and oxen before the ark in such numbers that no one tried to keep count. You know what? All right. That's not true. It says it in this Bible. I know that in another Bible, it doesn't say that. I tried to actually read this already once, and I took it over to the barn, and something went wrong. So I said, okay, not over Easter. This is Jesus' time. I'll start this up again after that all is over. That all is has substantiated itself again for this year. So, and it does say how many, and here it says too much. It didn't even count it. So what did they actually do? Did they count it or did they not? Because in one Bible it's one way, in the other it's another way. I should go and get my other Bible and show you, right? But that's downstairs, and I'm not going downstairs. You go and check it out. Yeah. All right. Yellow. Well, no one tried to keep count. Okay, somebody tried. Hundreds of years later. Okay. Then the priests carried the ark into the inner room of the temple, the Holy of Holies, and placed it beneath the angel's wings. Their wings spread over the ark and its carrying poles. These carrying poles were so long that their ends could be seen from the outer room, but not from the outside doorway. The ark is still there at the time of this writing. It says that in the other one too. Yet, it'd be nice if they put a date in here, but they didn't. Nothing was in the ark except the 2 stone tab about when this was written down exactly. Well, let's see. Did they say? Oh no, that's not in this one either. I need to have all the Bibles lined up so I can. Oh, let me go and check because it says in this one, but it doesn't say in this one, but it says in the other one. I need to do that, obviously. Nothing was in the ark except the 2 stone tablets which Moses had put there at Mount Horeb. I wonder if they ever read them again. When the Lord made a covenant with the people of Israel as they were leaving Egypt. When the priests had undergone the purification rites for themselves, they all took part in the ceremonies without regard to their normal duties. Huh? What did it saying here. And how the Levites were praising the Lord as the priests came out of the Holy of Holies. The singers were Asaph, Heman, Jeduthun, and all their sons and brothers, dressed in fine-spun linen robes and standing at the east side of the altar. The choir was accompanied by 120 priests who were trumpeters, while others played the cymbals, lyres, and harps. The band and chorus united as one to praise and thank the Lord. Their selections were interspersed with trumpet obligatos. What's an obligato? Their selections were interspersed with trumpet obligatos. Oh, okay. Oh, got it. The clashing of cymbals and the loud playing of other musical instruments, all praising and thanking the Lord. Their theme was, He is so good, His loving kindness lasts forever. And at that moment the glory of the Lord, coming as a bright cloud, filled the temple so that the priests could not continue their work. All right. And that is that for 5. The priests could not continue their work, but I thought the priests were all having a blast, feasting. I have no idea. It doesn't make sense. As I said, it's written down as it is written down. And that is that. So, main thing, the ark is now in the temple, right? Yes? Okay. That'd be kind of nice. Maybe they have already. Maybe they already have a book. Be kind of nice to have a children's book where it shows the journey of the ark, right? Yes? Yeah, wouldn't it? With the 10 Commandments. I think that would make a great book. You know, I've given people ideas about certain things. I just, this would be, you could be doing this. Okay, I only do that when people are at a loss on what to do or this or that, or I feel like, okay, God's guidance needs to kind of find its way into people's lives. And, so you have this kind of idea, and you give it to someone else, and they make a total mess out of it, right? Yes, I've seen that. So what am I saying here now? It's a good thing not too many people watch this. I might talk to my daughter about that. That sounds like such a beautiful story that one could make such a really beautiful story out of it. Like the ark is what? A treasure, right? And the children are watching the treasure of God move. What? It's a treasure to the people, right? Yes? It seems like that most everything that God has given us is like a treasure hunt for us, right? Yes? Such an elusive treasure hunt. The ark eventually got lost, burned up, I don't know, taken, as I taken for its riches or whatever. I wonder if the Ark of the Covenant would still be around if it would have been made just out of regular wood, but preserved really well, right? Cared for really well. That the Levites would have treasured, yes, a simple coffin for the 10 Commandments, right? All right. In the same way as they treated this box that had all this ornate stuff on it, like a jewelry box, right, with a pretty top, and then but no doubt the greed of some, just all they saw was what? Okay, there you go. Anyway, the story of the ark, that would be, and the journey of it, that would be interesting. That would make a really cool book. All right, for children. Anyway, so there is that. Oh, and then it could come with little treasure box, right? Yes, yeah, with the 10 Commandments in it. Oh, wouldn't that be something? Ma, Daniela. That's all coming from Spirit World, so. All right, so I saw another one real quick, and then we're done. I gotta go. Got things to do. I always think I have things to do. I do. I have everyday things to do, okay? Oh, but I'm having a lot of joint pain. It's the weather. It's again, the changing. It was so warm, okay? And it's just, it's hitting my joints. Or I could just be going through another knots are forming, this and that, and it just it's just sore. It's sore more than anything else. And then it goes away again, and it takes a while for the next episode or something. Yes, we got all episodes in our lives too, just like a drama. I saw one where someone brings up on how people argued with God, right? And then they bring up, Moses, Abraham, Moses, and then it goes from there. Even Muhammad was mentioned, arguing with God. Hey, instead of the 50 prayers, can we just have 5 a day? How the heck do you do 50 prayers a day and work? You're getting nothing done. Why would anybody argue with God? And Muhammad said, oh, can we just not do this instead of 50 times, just 5 times, And then, yeah, God said it was okay. And people, oh, thank God. I'm just saying. Don't people kind of get? That's like an April Fool's to me. There's no way that God would have you, 50 times a day, do a certain that. And if anybody knows on how the Muslims pray, and don't get me wrong, I love it. I've always been, wow, that's real dedication. 5 times a day, okay, sounds good. Right? I pray all day long. People don't see it, but in a way I do. Okay, all right, that's a good visible foundation. Why not 50 times a day? Okay. Nobody ever questioned that? Well, that doesn't make any sense. How would that even work? Let's try that and see how much you get done. So you're going to believe that? God actually gave Muhammad, or whoever believed at that time, to the Muslims, you got to pray 50 times. And you have to pray like this a day. I'm just saying, okay? Come on now. Anyway, so men are the ones. So it goes through it, on how the prophets and this, they would go to God and they kind of argue over some things, because they also wanted to keep their freedom, of will, their own, It brought up all kinds of things. And I read all this through, and it's well meant, But first of all, I noticed, wow, it's all men. It's all just men. It's all men who are arguing with God, right? Yes. And if you argue with someone, obviously there's something you don't want to do, right? You usually don't argue with people, okay, or you want something, or you want to do something, okay. But arguing is not a positive thing. Yeah, arguing is never a positive thing. And to argue with God, so kind of gave me that. Oh wow, if this is what went on, then. Very up, and not one woman. So women knew how to be obedient to God and His guidance. Well, then the guy should take the cues from the women, right? Yes. Hey, I didn't write that down. It was most likely a guy who wrote all this down, right? The men arguing with God. I know how it is meant, and how it's supposed to look like. Okay, you argue with God. God. In God's eyes, obedience is important because it leads to man's happiness. Being obedient to God and follow His guidance will lead to happiness. So why would you argue with God to begin with? Because sin sustains itself within an argument. Okay. Anyway, so okay. Well, then how is it actually? Well, all I can tell you is from what happens with me. And it took a while too, right? Yes, well, we're so steered in one direction, and what, you can't think for yourself? Yeah, but I saw a little clip of socialism, right? Socialists want you to not do things for yourself. Okay, my immediate thought, they're going to clean my behind after I pooped too? There's all kinds of things that come to my mind. I know how they mean it, but I don't think that's true. And then, of course, socialists want you, okay, not to be able to care for yourself or do things for yourself and become dependent on the state. Well, yeah, and that can be very comfortable. Okay, I'm sorry. Again, yeah, it sounds, oh yeah, and I have to say, all right, people just pulled in by stuff like that. As if you really don't have freedom out there to do things yourself. I'm just saying, yes? It doesn't matter what government it is. It needs its people to be what it is, regardless. Okay? So, again, don't feed people this garbage. And then, what are they going to do? Oh, yeah. Oh, my gosh. Oh, what you going to go and do? Bury your gold out in the backyard now or something? I'm just saying, right? Instead of growing food, you're going to what? Buy guns and ammunition? I'm just saying. I mean, where is this all going to lead? Anyway, people argue with God. Oh, yeah, argue with God over the 10 Commandments. Thou shalt not kill. Yeah, but if it's necessary and I just told you about the socialism stuff. When there's something comes up in my life and I'm going, man, this is just irking me. This is irking me, and how am I supposed to be understanding this indirect communication or indirect happening with somebody else, right? And so I do turn to God. I said, I really don't get it. What am I supposed to do here? And I find within my heart, I don't even have to voice it for it to go to my mind. In my heart, I already feel on how I don't want to take responsibility for the situations, right? Yes? The guidance that I get from God and spirit world, good spirit world, and from God every time is look within yourself first. Because if you're looking for guidance from God with more conflict, which will create more conflict, you're not going to get it. The guidance from God that you will get, and there's no argument there, will always be, if you're pointing the finger at someone else, it's most likely going to point right back at you again. First. First, the finger comes right back at you. You can't even do that. It's already here first. And I'll always get from spirit world and God, good spirit world, it's always look at the whole situation. See how you got there. See how it developed into that. Now, where do you have to begin to restore that? It is never with somebody else out there. It is always with me. Every time. So, as I said, on how this spiritual post was presented on how, how you can have communication with God and the arguments that men had, all men. Well, hey, they wrote it down like that. They left the women out, so whatever. Is ridiculous to me. And the credence it was given on how that was okay. No, it's not okay to argue with God. Because again, the only reason anybody, from my experience on how I went to God for guidance, arguments don't get you nowhere. Arguments do not get you communication with God. Because that's our realm, right here. We argue with each other. God does not argue with anyone. Because he would never lessen the restrictions, the obedience, the commandments, and sacrifice what exactly for his children? the happiness of all of his children. He would never, ever do that. Had my say. Don't argue with God. Eh? Well, if anything, we should take our cues from all those men. You know how I mean that. It's got to come out in the open. Yes, they understand. It's all about restoring. It's restoring the true nature of God. The reputation of God. Of course, I don't need to restore God. God, I have to say it all so correctly right? So that misunderstandings don't happen. Really. Anyway. So, if that was just a joke as well, the first April Fool's Day, about the kiddie meal from McDonald's, maybe someone should tell McDonald's, say, hey, why don't you have, just after Easter now, someone made a joke about it, how about, put something good forth with the food, not so great food they put out, put something else that balances out, and make the kids' meals with Bible characters. And it's okay to bring out a bad guy every once in a while. Right? Yes? Just saying. Flipped it. Flip it. There was the one sermon, the one and only sermon I've ever sat in on in person with Hyungjin Moon. I do not put the Nim on it. That is like, that elevates a person in Korean, and he doesn't deserve that right now. So whatever, I mean, dear me, why do people need that? Was about the upside down kingdom. Flip things. How do you do that? Well, he hadn't figured it out either, though it sounded really good. Best thing I've ever heard from him, right? Then after that, it went south real fast. But anyway, for whatever reasons, right? But best, and I try to remind myself, this guy really actually has it within him, right? Lost another one. To what? Crowns, guns, motorcycles, politics, blobbity blob, bloop, bloop, bloop. Right? Yes? I don't know. Maybe he argues with God too. Maybe, I don't know, right? God didn't answer, so he goes and does his own thing. I have no idea. But upside, flip it. Right? Flip it. If you come across something negative, say, how can I flip this into something good? I mean, all right, let's stay on the ground here with things, right? Yes? All right. Yeah, that's a very interesting concept. Right? Yes? All right. Don't get mad. Yes? Don't get mad. Don't get angry. Get God's guidance. Get Spirit World's guidance. Right? And say, where is the positive spin on this? Right? To teach people. To take the fire out of something. To take the negative out of something. How would that, you'd be amazed on the answers that you will get. And on how you can teach it. How you can flip it. Yes? Give it a try. It's kind of cool. I think it's cool. I love the concept. All right. God's love and blessings always. May he protect you, and I will talk to y'all another time.